people with life-threatening lung disease, a lung transplant may offer hope. But sadly, for many transplant recipients, their new lungs can be attacked by their immune system and may stop working properly. This is known as chronic lung allograft dysfunction, CLAD, or chronic rejection. At present, there's no proven treatment for CLAD, so we urgently need to find treatments to slow or stop CLAD. E-CLAD UK is a trial taking place at 5 NHS transplant centres across England and led by a team in Newcastle. The aim of the trial is to find out if and how a treatment called extracorporeal photopheresis, which involves exposing a patient's blood to ultraviolet light, can work to treat CLAD. Patients and members of the public have been closely involved in developing, designing and delivering this research. Public co-applicants are a key part of the E-CLAD UK team, bringing a wealth of experience and insight that the university researchers don't have. Annabel is one of the public co-applicants. She shares her experience here. For the last 5 years, I've been a member of the Patient and Public Involvement Group connected to the NIHR Blood and Transplant Research Unit in organ donation and transplantation. I heard about E-CLAD UK through this work and wanted to get involved. In the application, public contributors suggested adding qualitative interviews into the study to go beyond the numbers and find out more about patients' experiences of chronic rejection and the treatment that we're looking at. We put forward a strong argument for the interviews in the application, which led to NIHR funding this additional part of the study. Now the trial's started, I see this role as providing a supplementary viewpoint to the researcher. I'm part of the study team, but see my role primarily as a member of the public to try and assist in understanding the perspective of participants in the study. I join online meetings with other public co-applicants, and I also co-chair meetings of the Patient and Public Advisory Group with the PPI lead. Public co-applicants have given a lot of advice on recruiting patients to the trial. We're also getting involved in the interviews by helping to write the topic guides and then sharing our observations and helping to interpret what comes out of the interviews. I found it helpful not to be the only public co-applicant on the study. I was part of a small team of 2 public co-ops and now 3 in total. We all bring our different experience, which is a plus, and we can share the workload and support each other. It's been helpful to have open discussions with the other public co-applicants and the PPI lead about training and to decide together what we need and want, and importantly what we don't. We didn't want a training programme as such, as the value of contributing our experience and our perspective was that it was different to the researcher's own perspective, so we don't need to approach from the same angle. Instead, we felt that preparation was more important. We wanted to know what to expect and what was the most useful way for all of us to work together for the benefit of the research, which is more supportive than off-the-shelf training. I find it challenging trying to keep some emotional distance. This particular study is aiming to treat patients whose lungs aren't working anymore after transplant, so it's a really difficult and sensitive topic to discuss for many people. If I was going to give some advice to someone considering becoming a public co-applicant, it's really interesting, but be aware of the time frame, not only from initial discussion of the research to it being funded or not, and the study going ahead, but also the outcomes of the research. Nothing happens quickly, so there could be times when you have little to do for weeks or months. Remember that no view or suggestion is wrong, and it could provide discussion and result in a completely different direction of travel for the research.